Happy Techy Tuesday, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Today is our last Techy Tuesday on the schedule, and we are finishing it up with Miss Karen Perino, who's going to be talking to us about some STEM today. Go ahead and take it away, Miss Karen.
Okay, welcome. I just wanted to go over a few things about STEM in the virtual setting. I know that we've all had the unfortunate incident of having to go home and go virtual. And a lot of times I know that science will get pushed in the back and on the back burner because we want to do science, and sometimes we're like, how can I have my students at home do science? And it's really very easy. And I took a PowerPoint and converted some things on it. And I want to share this with you. And then I want to share a website and an activity that I did. So welcome. And I hope you get some ideas that you can use in your classroom and if you go home virtually. So science journals, I'm big on. We all know how great science journals are. They help our students to learn, and this is great for virtual students. You can have them even take a picture of their journal and send it to you virtually through a program that you use. Sometimes I just get it on my Google Classroom. And it's really great to see their thoughts in the journal. This is something, if you go virtual, that you really want to keep up with. And especially with the younger students learning to write, this also integrates your ELA into science, which is really what I love to do. Think about this. Famous scientist, look at her journals. Journaling is so important for young students. Look how detailed. So you want to keep up journaling, and this is just how do science journals help us learn. And I'm not going to pull that video up, but science journals do a lot. Not only do they help students think critically and put those thoughts into writing, but they also help develop skills of handwriting and sentence writing in the lower grades, and also revision. 3D learning, we all know that's our big thing with science. We want to integrate science and engineering, disciplinary core ideas, and our cross-cutting concepts in our science instruction. And you can start with your phenomena. This is going to be your guiding question. And I like to relate it to ELA. And I'm going to show you a standard for Earth and human activity. And this is a standard in kindergarten, but actually models go from K to 2. So the performance expectation is to use a model to represent the relationship between the needs of different plants or animals. And this is including us humans and the places they live. And the clarification, just to kind of help us understand this a little bit better, is examples of relationships could include deer eat buds and leaves and usually live in forested areas. Grasses need sunlight, so they often grow in meadows. Plants, animals, and their surroundings make up a system. This is at the actual standard. And remember, developing and using models is important for K to 2. This builds. So we're going to have students, and this is so easy to do at home. And actually, I did some work with LSU last summer, and the students loved making dioramas. And you don't have to go out and have them buy any special things for this project because they can use things around the house. So for our standard, and to meet that standard, we're going to ask our learners to create a paper plate diorama. But if they don't have a paper plate, they can put it on paper, cardboard, anything will work. And they're going to show the relationship between the needs of plants or animals. And this can be us, of course, humans, and the places they live. And we want our students to demonstrate that they understand animal habitats and environmental adaptations. So We're going to ask them to be an engineer. They can go around their house. They love to do this. We've even had scavenger hunts so that they can go grab materials to make a habitat. And they love looking for materials. So they can use common household supplies. And I'm showing an example. And so much learning occurs through this. And they love to send you pictures of it and write about it. Here's some text that I use to connect to this particular lesson. And you can download actual read alouds of these, especially How a House is Built by Gail Gibbons. And you can send that to your students as a follow-up. And just for a minute, I want to talk about the achievement gap. Yes, this is very important with science because science builds vocabulary. When we go home virtually, we have to worry about that. We have to worry about the knowledge base and how that vocabulary is developing in the early years. So we want to think about building that vocabulary, and the achievement gap starts so early. It saddens me to know that in the early years, students who don't have that vocabulary start school with so many less words. And if you look, children in families where there's lower SES will have so many words less, 525 words less than our students in families who are giving them those read alouds, the science exploration, the vocabulary, 1,116 words compared to 525 words. And guys, this is just by the age of 3. So you can imagine by the age of 5 and why we can't stop giving them those science experiments, investigation, read aloud, build our vocabulary. And this is just a quick synopsis of how we can build knowledge. Knowledge has a higher impact on comprehension than reading ability. It's important that we build background knowledge. If students don't have at least a minimum level of knowledge about a text and the content of a text, they will have trouble comprehending, even if they can decode all of the words. So we know that building vocabulary is highly correlated to comprehension. And we know how debilitating and frustrating it is for our young students who don't know words on a page. Remember, this is how science can help with reading and building that background vocabulary knowledge. The more words you know, the better you will comprehend the content. And this is just a short synopsis. Children's vocabulary doubles between grades 3 and 7. And students on track for college and career are learning 3,000 new vocabulary words each year. And it's impossible to learn these through vocabulary exercises. The days of getting out, copying vocabulary words, putting them on paper and in a book, that is not really the best way. Research has shown that building that background knowledge through rigorous text and a lot of good science text is so crucial. And I just put this saying up here because I love it. My kids in kindergarten must ask 1,000 questions a day. And I never get tired of it because the important thing is to not stop questioning. That's from Albert Einstein. We want students to ask and discuss open-ended questions and to generate claims and focus on evidence. We want them to read from multiple sources in virtual learning. It's very easy to pull magazine and journal articles and web-based resources for our students. So that's just a little about me. And I want to show you a website from MSTA. And it's called the Daily Do's. If you don't do this, you might want to give it a try. It's really got some excellent resources. If you look, I'm going to scroll down. They have elementary, middle, high, and for families. So if you have a virtual learning situation, you can even have activities for the whole family. And this is elementary, and you can see different categories. Lesson plan, what can we see different? Objects in the sky, how will the plants grow? This is something that I've been starting in my classroom, germination. And if you look, I'm clicking, let's see, it will show you your plan. This is the daily dues. And it'll show you a PDF, start a discussion, an introduction. That's an awesome video. And how to experience the phenomenon, the investigation. And this is actually a hands-on. You see the sprouted corn kernels. This is very easy also for virtual learning. Many of our students can get a shoebox, cardstock, corn kernels, plastic cups, and they're going to sprout the seeds. And this is something that you can have them journal about and check back with. And last but not least, on our Techy Tuesday, I wanted to show or share a video that I did whenever we went home. And I have just kept it pretty much on a closed page that I had. But I think about the second week, I began to become very concerned about my students experiencing any science. And I began to think, how am I going to connect? So for this lesson, it was as simple as going in my backyard and pulling up an acorn seed that had germinated. And I'm just going to play a few minutes of it. I'm actually going to fast forward it to the end, but I just want you to see how simple this is. If you go home, nature is all around us and science is everywhere.
Today, out it grows. A story.
Okay. I'm not going to let you hear the whole story because it's how a seed grows.
Grow out and grow down and have root hairs on it. After some more days, you will see that it is starting to sprout.
I'm going to try to fast forward.
Day after day, the roots grow and push further down in the soil. Day after day, look at that. You could actually journal about this.
And so I'm talking about germinating and how seeds germinate while I'm reading how a seed grows. And I'm going to, in a minute, show how I have connected that with a seed that I actually found in my yard. And that's a song. We like to sing songs in my room about germination. And there is what I just pulled out of the yard. And I'm talking about how the leaves have chlorophyll, the root system. And I think the thing that I learned that was so really amazing was if you go outside and look around, you can find something to almost fit with any science standard.
And I hope to see you very soon. I miss you guys.
So that's it for today. That's just a few things that I wanted to share. And I hope you enjoyed it. I have some things I'd like to share this summer. I've been working with MSTA, and we've been developing lessons that integrate literacy into the curriculum. And it's really fascinating to me to see the awesome activities and lessons that's come from this. It's a collaboration that we've had with teachers from all over the country. So I'm going to hopefully be able to share that with you this summer. And I appreciate the time. Thank you.
And I just want to say my kid had her last year for kindergarten, and we loved getting those videos and reading along, and we planted so many things. We spent a lot of time outdoors. So those videos did mean a lot to us as a family because it gave us something to do and something to look forward to. So it was really cool. So I'm glad you were able to share that with the other ones today too.
Thank you.
All right, guys. our very last Techie Tuesday. Thanks for hanging in there with us this semester and join us for Tech Week. June, when is that, Lynn?
6 through 9.
June 7 through 9.
7 through 9.
3 days. More information's coming out. If you've got something that you would like to present on, we are seeking presenters. So please fill that form out. Thank you guys and enjoy your Tuesday. Bye.